Please raise your right hand, your other right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Please be seated.
Would the bailiff kindly hand the witness People's Evidence marked 27A? Thank you. Can you please describe what you are holding for me?
It's a computer game called In the First Degree, recently released by Broderbund Software.
Have you ever seen this game before?
Yes.
Played it?
Yes.
Can you give us your impression of it?
Well, since it's a digitized video product, I've fully expected to be disappointed. Much to my surprise, I wasn't, not even remotely.
I see. For the benefit of the jury, could you briefly describe your experience with this game?
When I booted it up, it showed me a couple of short movie segments describing the situation. Gallery owner Zachary Barnes had been shot to death by his business partner, James Tobin. It also established that I was playing prosecuting district attorney G. Sterling Granger, and it was my job to uncover the truth and, should I determine that any wrongdoing was involved, to prosecute the culprit to the full extent of the law.
Then what happened?
Then my assistant gave me a bunch of taped interviews with all the witnesses, transcripts of their statements, and photos of the crime scenes. I pored over this material trying to get a feel for the situation. I then had to interview the 3 key witnesses in preparation for the trial and question them during the trial itself.
And what did you think of all this? Was it an interesting story, or just a bunch of multimedia gimmickry?
The story's pretty good, and the production value's high. The writing is generally good, and the dialogue mostly believable. The actors carry it off with reasonable flair. There are no big-time names, but at their best, the acting is as good as any I've seen during prime time. The only problem I ran into was when different branches of the script led to different emotional states for the characters, then branched to radically different states suddenly. There's a disjunction there. Characters will be belligerent one minute, then kind and helpful the next. Fortunately, this effect isn't too pronounced and occurs only occasionally. On the other hand, characters do react to the way you treat them. Piss someone off, and they'll deliberately withhold information you need to obtain a conviction.
What about the technology? The digitized video? The graphics?
The digitized video was smooth and synced well with the digitized speech. There are some atmosphere shots, such as parts of the courtroom scenes where jurors are shown yawning, scratching themselves, and so on, that were just not that exciting and wouldn't have damaged the game's realistic feel by landing on the cutting room floor. As for the graphics, they're generally good. Most of the game is video, of course, but the occasional digitized still photos, including the ones used as video backgrounds, are gorgeous.
A lot of people have complained that there's no gameplay in interactive movies. How would you respond to that charge in the context of In the First Degree?
I was really surprised at how good a game this is. There are some problems I have with the design, but overall, the designers have avoided a lot of the pitfalls into which so many alleged interactive movies have fallen. The best thing is, it's hard. I thought it was going to be a cakewalk, but the first time I played it, I made several gross blunders. Not only was the case dismissed, I got disbarred.
In your opinion, is that going to deter some gamers?
Maybe, but since it only takes an hour or two to play through the game in its entirety, I don't think it's a big deal. Plus, the game gives you some great pointers about what you did wrong, so the next time you play, you know what to focus on.
Earlier, you alluded to some problems with the script branching, and also with the design. Can you elaborate on these issues?
Actually, they're one and the same. The problem is in the interactive interviews with witnesses. First off, the questions are not written out exactly as you ask them. For instance, how was I to know that choosing suggest an alternative scenario meant I would coach the witness to lie on the stand?
That is serious.
Even more annoying is the fact that sometimes you ask questions and don't get the results you want, but you can't backtrack and try another tack. Fortunately, as I said, the game is short enough that you can easily replay it.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, based on witness testimony, it is clear that this new game, In the First Degree, defies all expectations of it in that it is a good game. It is good-looking, true. It does use digitized video footage. And it does involve branching question trees thinly disguised as interactive interviews. However, it does all of these things well, and the result is a game that is polished and fun to play. And that, I believe, is the bottom line.
Will that be all?
The people rest, Your Honor.